Hello, hello, hello. I'm Timothy Kynes, your host and not the trainer, because the trainer, of course, is the wealthy trainer who I will be introducing here in just a second. But I'd like to introduce you to session 9 of Brand Resume, which is the menu blog. On the menu blog will be your menu, and he teaches you how to professionally prepare the menu for your brand resume. So, with that said, I'd like to introduce you to the wealthy trainer, Mr. Mark M. Lalone.
Hey guys, what's up? Come on in. Those of you who are live, those of you in the module, welcome to module number 9. Whew. Today will be extremely heavy in the technicalities, okay? I'm preparing you. Next module is the final module of this course. If you're here live, it's one of those courses where you have to go back into the course for the application more than anything. Today will be the most technical module thus far, okay? How you guys doing, the ones that are live? Tomorrow for you guys, and in the next module for the ones who bought the course, we're going to give a summary as soon as we kick it off on how to navigate the modules to your advantage, okay? The live sessions, guys, I don't know if you were aware of this, but they're cut up into pieces and placed in the course in a certain way. We'll go through that in the next module, so there's no point in going over it right now. I must stick to the agenda. Can we please agree that my voice is loud and clear and you can see me, please, on the live video, on the live webinar, as we are building this together. As we build this thing, Mark Lalone, this guy, thinks of things all the time and kind of doesn't really pivot, because this is pretty clear cut as we went through. However, I share things as I move along, and I'd like to share this with you. We created a brand along this journey that was called Fixing Self for the purposes of this course. And throughout the course, part of me was, I may have hinted at it, you may have noticed in some of the modules, I don't quite recall, I may have mentioned to myself within the course or to you guys that I may be launching that brand as a separate brand publicly. But it was mostly for the purposes of the course, to create a new brand, to create a new brand resume, to give you guys brand ideas, to get your intellectual juices flowing, creative juices flowing. And then I got kind of passionate about that brand. And I'm thinking, I think I like that brand as a standalone brand. And then yesterday night, I says to myself, as I'm going through the Wealthy Trainer brand, I'm like, that can be a show on the Wealthy Trainer brand. So creating a whole new brand with a whole new story that's congruent to that, when in fact, that's a piece of me fixing myself, fixing self. So instead of creating a whole entire brand, I've done it for this course. We will populate that brand today. I'd like to populate it. We're going to build the menu for that brand. But if you were to go look for that brand afterwards, I want to see Mark Lalone's new brand. It's going to be part of the Wealthy Trainer. I've decided to suck it up, buttercup, and share myself out there a little more. I'm going to use the attract-repel theory or concept. The more I share about myself, the more people I lose, but the more people I gain. I gain the right people. I do. If I want to sell something, a very specific product, side note, squirrel, curveball, just really quickly. Okay, guys? Do you give me permission to hunt a squirrel right now? Just really quickly. If I want to completely be niche, with the purpose of selling something, well, then I create a funnel with 7 videos and a series of videos, a campaign that's tailored to the thing I'm selling. So if I'm selling a wellness product, generally speaking, and I'm creating a funnel just for that to sell to people in Chicago, I do very, very, very target marketing. You get better sales that way because you're talking to the person who sees your ads. I went off. See, I told you, squirrel moment. When I do that, then I would not share how I was an ex-alcoholic and how I fixed myself. But as far, you understand, does that make sense? When I have very targeted campaigns, because I'm not, at the end of the day, it is me. I'm building a following that follow me, that buy into me. But when I sell something very direct, or if I'm selling someone else's product and their product has a certain reputation, then I'll be very focused on that campaign without sharing too much of me within that campaign. Now, with that being said, there's a point here. When I started sharing, this has been a journey for me, creating this course. I shared things that I generally would not share. Weird. But I've been sleeping like a baby. The hives are not popping out. I've been sleeping like a baby. I've been extremely efficient when I work. My creativity has been up. It's like all kinds of weights have been lifted off my shoulders. It's been transformative. It has, this process. So when I was thinking of launching this Fixing Self brand, aside from this course, I was going to keep going and keep adding to that and modify that as a brand on its own. I says to myself, you know what, Mark? Suck it up and add it to your Wealthy Trainer. It's you. The Wealthy Trainer is you. Health and wealth is what I stand for. And with the random hacks, random life hacks, Fixing Myself is a life hack. And I'm thinking, I thought, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. As we stand here today, I'm going to create a show called Fixing Self. But for the purpose of this course, I'm just talking about myself moving forward. But for the purpose of this course, we will complete this course with the Fixing Self brand, okay? I just want to say that because as I was creating the images, as I was modifying my story, I'm like, well, I need to modify my story so it's less about money. It's less about losing weight. It's less about being physically healthy, health and wealth. And it's more about fixing a broken person. And I'm like, that's good. That's perfect for a show because it's part of me. It's not all of me. Money and health are my end goals. To be super healthy and to be super wealthy. So, as I'm creating the images, as I'm doing the YouTube cover art, I'm like, well, do I need a new hashtag? I have Ask Lalonde. Am I going to start pointing people to another.com? Because if people come to The Wealthy Trainer with 444, I think, after yesterday's content, 444 pieces of like crazy valuable content, why wouldn't I bring them there? And they could just go to the show. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? So moving forward, if you punch in Fixing Self, FixingSelf.com, it'll go to the show on the Wealthy Trainer blog. If you go to AskAlalone.com, it'll go to the show, but it'll still be within my brand. I've been working on that brand for 5 years, folks. And after all the research I've done and all the things I observe, working on a brand for 5 years, that's when it can start being seen. It takes a lot of work before you hit the stratosphere. Okay, that was a long squirrel. It's just I like to share my thoughts sometimes. This is a course, so I probably shouldn't be doing this as much. But what did you guys think of the last module? Or as in yesterday for the ones who are live? Wasn't that awesome? That was awesome. I thought it was super awesome. We created content. I'm not going to reiterate because this is a course. There we have it. It was awesome. We're going to continue from there because this is serial content opposed to episodic content within this course. You know what that means if you were on yesterday's live. If you were not, check. If you're in the course, check out the last module. This course is built so it's sequential, okay? Here we go. Today, brand resume categories. We're building out your menu when in essence, your menu is your categories of your brand resume. Super important. So we will begin by building out that menu. I shouldn't even have been talking. This lesson part should have been shorter. So I'm going to summarize what we're about to jump into. We have to get into the technicalities immediately. In the last module, I was uploading my new YouTube piece of content, which was, I call it the broken heart, kind of like we call content what it's not actually called. Internal wounds are like external wounds. If I ever say the broken heart content, that's what I mean. We created that yesterday. We finalized it. We created the voice. We created the image, cover art, and we created the text, okay? So in between sessions, so you guys wouldn't have to wait last night or in the module, I uploaded that to my YouTube channel. So again, I didn't create a whole new channel for Fixing Self. See what I mean by staying to my brand of the Wealthy Trainer? So I will be plucking from my Wealthy Trainer YouTube channel because it's going on there. However, it will be on my Wealthy Trainer blog. It actually already is. I put it up this morning. And it will be on my Fixing Self blog. But my Fixing Self blog will not be open to the public. It's just for the course. So what we're doing is we are creating your blog post today. I already uploaded to YouTube. I already uploaded to SoundCloud for podcast. And that's it. I'm going to start there. I'm going to show you how I did that, what I put in the description of those two platforms. Then we're going to take from YouTube, put it into your brand resume. We're going to take from SoundCloud, put it into your brand resume. So your brand resume experience has all of that within one blog post. They're blog posts. I call them experiences. And that's what we're doing today. It's pretty darn heavy. We're creating the menu. Then we're creating one blog post. And here's what I'd like to do today. We may edge an hour and a half, 2 hours as I start sharing my screen because I'm going to create it from scratch. There's a lot. The first time, keyword, the first time you do this, it's painstakingly detail oriented. The details matter. So I will just go. You will need to come back and pause and scrub. When I say scrub, I mean rewind. That's what the kids call it today. I scrubbed it forward or I scrubbed it back. You're going to have to go within the replay. Taking notes tonight will be kind of tough. I'll just be real here. We're going to create that from scratch. Big time. So that's a big deal. We're doing it all in this module, in this session, in this live. Once we do that, I'm going to do it to a second one. And I'll tell you why I will do it. I'll tell you why we are creating 2 today. First of all, the menu is a big deal, guys. Would you guys like me to also teach the sub-menu with the videos with your highlights that go by? Just like on the Wealthy Trainer, where you see me with Tony Robbins, where you see me when I was on television talking to Nikki Clark on the Nikki Clark Show, where you see me speaking to an audience, where you see me with Brett Wilson from Dragon's Den, where you see me with the mayor of my city, mayor of Ottawa, Jim Watson, right? Hey, Jim, what's up? So, would you like me to teach you that? Of course you would. Of course you would. Those are your highlights. I think it's called a sliding carousel, maybe. We have to implement that as well. So it's a heavy night. So I think we should go. I think we should get running. That's the agenda. Anything else on my mind? Because we're approaching the end. And what I tend to do in series content, opposed to episodic, is I tend to, or / courses, I tend to always re-summarize where we're at. Like, so far we've covered this. But in this case, there is no need, because there are no replays. There are no replays. If by any chance anyone who didn't pay, because I noticed some people who were on the live the other night, so somebody shared links. This is supposed to be for only people who paid, but people slide into the cracks all the time. As a matter of fact, I noticed it pretty big later, but it's okay, because there are no replays to this stuff. You must be in the paid course to get the replays. Therefore, it makes no sense for me to always summarize where we're at. This is a standalone course, and it's pretty darn awesome. Just rewind, go to the beginning, and start at the beginning modules and work your way down. If you're lost and you just picked this module by chance. Anything else? I don't think so. I think we're good to go. It's going to be heavy. Let's go. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go right to my YouTube channel. We're going to go right to my SoundCloud. Like I said, I don't need to repeat myself. I'm just getting the screen sharing set up. Here we go. You guys ready? Okay, guys, we got to move. This will be very fast. I said it 4 times already today. So here we go. We got a dandy. We created a lot of things on this journey thus far. Now we need to put them all together. So what I'm going to do, I think the best way to do this is I'm going to begin with what we will end up with by the end of this module. Okay? We will end up with a brand resume that is populated just like this, with the exception of a couple of bells and whistles, understandably so, okay? So you may notice the layout is a little different for me. For example, I have blog posts going right across my page. On the Fixing Self site, the one we created together, you have an about right on the homepage. We have Instagram plugged in. We have a book pick of the month, a book choice, and the blog posts are separated on the left. These layouts can be changed at any time in Wix. I'm just saying that because I'm going to show you what we're going to end up with tonight. It seems so hard to believe, but we will get it done. I know this software very well, and we're going to roll with it. This is what I want to end up with tonight. I want you to have your own menu. I will create the menu with sub-menus, subcategories on the Fixing Self site. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, I want your highlights to appear right on the homepage. There are none on the template. Those are the highlights that are in the front row. We talked about this in module number 2 when we compare brand resume to real resume. Highlights in the front row. Let me just go through them to give you an idea. You can start thinking about yours. Leader, entrepreneur. Those are all videos in the back of my own. And I also have images. Those are all videos of my own. And there's an image, for example. Okay. So we can put images, we can put videos. What we're going to do is, there's another image. We're going to do a combination thereof, okay? With the text, with your highlights, okay? So I think I have 8 of them. We'll do 4 of them today, because as you add them, it'll become It's the same thing. It's the same process. Okay, so we'll create the menu with the submenus. We'll create the sliding carousel, I believe it's called. This will populate itself. So we're going to create 2 blog posts today. Let me show you what it looks like. This is really, well, I was going to say, here comes the technical stuff, but all this up here is going to be pretty specific. Let's go. I got to move. This is the blog post we did yesterday, by the way, guys. I put it on my Wealthy Trainer blog. This is the one we did in the previous module. Internal wounds are like external wounds. Why don't we go look at that one now? It's on my Wealthy Trainer blog post. It was too good not to put there. It was going there anyways. So, internal wounds are like external wounds. We have an image and we have cover art. We have both. I'll explain why we need both as we create this. But this is what we will create. This whole blog post, once again, from scratch on the Fixing Self site. So instead of me showing you, just do this. This is what I did here. This is what I did here. I'm going to redo it from scratch, okay? So we're going to create it exactly like it is here. This is the YouTube video. Well, let's start. This is the image. Why do we have a second image? Might as well tell you now so I don't have to repeat it. This is the image. This is the cover art. Look how beautiful that is. Why don't we have the cover art for the image? You're probably asking yourself. Well, because for the image, we do not want text on this image. We do not want text on this image. This is what shows up. Yeah, I'll show you right now. This is what shows up on your blog posts on all devices. And when there's text, it gets too cluttered, okay? This is important. It gets too cluttered and you don't need to repeat the subject matter on the cover art on your blog. And also across all devices, sometimes this cuts off. Well, quite often. So depending on how your blog is showing up on which platforms and which devices, the only time you see the entire size of this image would be on a desktop for sure. But if you get into different different platforms, you don't want text because the text always cuts off. The only way you would have text is if it was right in the middle and then it just would barely show up. In other words, let's just do the standard way I'm teaching you. Is that I'm going to probably say that a lot today, that we need to do it this way, and you'll probably say, well, why? You can put it in the chat if you're here live, and I can address your questions, but there will be a lot of why do we do this? Why do we do that? I understand that, but there are so many things that I had to figure out the hard way through this process that I'm just going to go, okay? You're going to have to trust the process a little bit. So we do need an image, just an image. Could I have used this same image without the text? I often do that. I could have easily done that. But I just went on Google this morning and I punched in Google, woman who is depressed. I think I chose for that. And there you go. I could have picked man who is depressed, but for some reason, you women out there seem to get more attention than men do. So here we go. We got that. We got an image. We got the text. We got the YouTube video, which is plugged in from YouTube. We have the podcast episode, which is plugged in from a SoundCloud account. We'll look at that immediately. These are the two first things we're going to look at. Then we have an image of yourself that you want to put down at the bottom with your micro story. This is what we want to do today. We want to build, so far, like I said, I don't need to repeat it, the menu, the carousel on the homepage, and that full blog post. Now we got more. We have more that we want to accomplish today. We want to create 2 blog posts, and I'll tell you why we want to create 2 blog posts. I think I started talking about it a second ago, and then I think I lost my train of thought. We're going to create one. It will be labor intensive. It's extremely, we need to pay attention to those details. But the reason we're creating a second one is because once you create one, it's a piece of cake to create more. Because we are copying the first one, and then all we're doing is editing the content of it. So we're switching this image, we're switching some, you'll see we change certain things instead of recreating the blog post. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope so. So we're going to create the first one. You're probably going to get a headache. You'll probably be like, oh my God, I got to do this every week. I need to put up a new piece of content every single week. Well, watch how easy the second one will be. Now we're not done. We need to do another thing. And this is probably where you're going to say, but why? But why? You want to play big? You guys want to play big? You want to play big. You've come this far. You want to come a little bit farther. On the menu, we have what are called video lists. If I begun telling you why this is so cutting edge in usability design, like, I don't know if you follow Jacob Nielsen or the art of design and the art of usability, and you know how people will click, will start reading. Here's a good example. Just to frame it for you, because I can't help myself. I'm a usability geek. I really am. You know, when you read, your eyeballs will gravitate on a page to the top left corner, okay? That's just an example of how human beings are wired, and their eyes go to certain places. People click to a certain area. People get attention when, for example, if there's a beautiful woman on an image, it gets more attention than a beautiful man. And that's on the averages, I guess. If you look at the metrics, I don't know why. Well, I know why. I know why. So I'm going to share with you something that is extremely powerful. Here we go. I put my content up in 2 types of formats on my brand resume. Format number 1 is the blog post like I showed you, okay? It's got everything I just showed you. I don't need to repeat it. It's got the podcast, the images, the description, the YouTube. It's got an outside link going to YouTube, an outside link going to SoundCloud. Whoa, I could keep going. Then SoundCloud plugs into iTunes. It plugs into Spotify. It plugs into Google Play. It plugs into Stitcher. There's so many things that are happening from the source of this page. So this page is everything. However, we have another format, and it's called a video list. If I go to Life Hacks up here, I go to Random Hacks here. I'll show you. This is what I get. This is not the blog post. This is simply a video, just like it would be a video on a YouTube channel. It's quick access to the content without knowing the nitty-gritty. If you go to blog, I'm going to open that in a new tab. And I go to, this is a little advanced, but we're getting it done. No stone unturned. And we go into the categories of the blog itself. I'm going to go to more. I'm going to go to Random Hacks. Now here you see the blog posts, opposed to just the videos. Same content. Internal wounds, State of the Union, how I'm going to become a best-selling author. If we go to the blog post, internal wounds, State of the Union, how I'm becoming a best-selling author. Once again, you click these and it's the entire blog post with the YouTube video, with this didn't have a podcast. Some of them don't have podcasts, specifically my older episodes, or if they're not relevant. Here I'm showing something on this video. I'm actually drawing. I'm practicing my signature, so it wouldn't apply to a podcast. but in most cases it has everything on here. And in the video, it's simply the video, directly to the video. So they could play it right from here and access other videos, almost like a YouTube channel. That's what it is. It's your own YouTube channel without all the ads or other recommended videos or anything, and so many more advantages. They're in your YouTube world. Whew, okay, so this is what we are going to do today. Now I know we're already half an hour in, more than half an hour in, so we must start building. Does it seem like a full module? It is a full module. It's like everything comes together tonight. So I think I covered everything. What we're going to do is we're going to work on this blog post, the one we did last night. Internal wounds are like external wounds. And as the secondary blog post, I will pick fear feeds fear. So I'm going to add these two, and I would do the selfie talkie, but here's the beautiful thing. I'm going to create, not add. I'm going to create everything I showed you on this website. Everything I showed you on this website. And there you have it. Are we ready? We will begin right here. Everything begins with what we learned last night. Okay, so we begin on my YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, go ahead and open one up. You have to Google that on how to do that. A lot of things I'm not going to teach you on how to do here because it's out of the scope of the training and we don't have time to do it. So, YouTube channel, hopefully you have one. You simply upload the video. It's pretty well that simple. And then what you do is you add the cover art and add a description. I did that today, June 4th. I just uploaded it. I just did it, like literally a couple of hours ago. One big view. Okay, here we go. I'm going to edit the video. This is where it all begins. This is the content we created. So what I did was I named it. I like to add a little emoji, but that's a personal thing. Then I go right into the description. This is very important what you're going to add here. And I'll tell you why. Because once you plug this into your Wix for the video listing, you cannot change it. Okay, that's important. That's an update they made at their end. So I'll show you what I mean by that. You know what? Let's show you right now so I don't have to repeat it. If I go to my blog, I'm on The Wealthy Trainer. Remember I said there was two spots for the content. There's the video section that's spawned by the menu at the top. And then there's the actual blog post. I'll go to the blog post and I will go to the video right from here. The video listing, I will call it. Right here. This description is sucked out from YouTube. This is sucked out from YouTube. The cover art, everything is sucked out from YouTube. So when we go suck it from YouTube for the video listing, we cannot change this. Wix will not let you edit this unless you upload your own video. You can do that, but we're not doing that today. I don't do that. I just grab the YouTube link and I add it to my Wix. I'm just going to say that once. If you have questions on that, I would basically repeat the same thing. It sucks it from YouTube. So it's important on your YouTube to have your video like this, to start at the description. We will add a call to action once we've done the import in Wix. That sounds complex, but I said it properly. I will probably not repeat it. The only time I'll repeat this is when we add the call to action once we've imported this video into Wix for the video listing. Now, in the blog post on Wix, of course, it's irrelevant because in the blog post for Wix, it's kind of complex. We're going advanced here. We've got two sections. If you're uncomfortable with doing the video listing, you don't have to. You can simply do the blog post. The blog post is what's important. This is actually quite advanced. This is, how would I say this? These are top of the food chain skills. I mean, the experts I follow, the world-class experts are trying to do this. They're trying to set up their stuff like this, and they're struggling. I want to drop some names, believe me. I want to drop some names, but I will refrain. So what I'm teaching you here is exactly what the top of the food chain people are doing, okay? As far as brand resumes and blogs go, and content logs, content libraries, personal content libraries, independent from any social media platform. Or as I like to say, not being held hostage by any social media platform. Okay, I had to get that out. That was my little rant for the moment. So this is a really good example of me just telling you how to do it. Me instructing you on how to do it and not having to explain why all the time. Is that fair? If I just teach you the way it needs to be done, I'll teach you the way it needs to be done. You follow the steps. And if you have questions, if you're live, put it in the chat, okay? Because if I have to explain the whys to every single intricacy throughout this, we will be here all night. So put the description, please, in your YouTube channel with no calls to action at the beginning. This is the text that we did in the previous module, or those of you who are live, the text that we did last night, okay? Then below that text, you will put your micro story. We talked about the story in a previous module, and I guided you to a training which is called Your Story is Your Money in Branding University, which is free, that shows you and teaches you and demonstrates how to craft your own personal story. Perfect, Mark, perfect. I didn't leave any stones unturned right there. Now let's move forward. We now have a YouTube video. What you will need is you will need this YouTube link. What I will do is I'll just keep this window open, so I'll have it open in another tab. So when we create our blog post, I'll just come and grab the link from here. So that's number one. That's pretty clear, right? We have a video living on your YouTube account. Okay, the next thing is we have a sound file that we created in the previous module or last night. It's a WAV file for your podcast episode. So you will need to open an account to host your audio files on soundcloud.com. Soundcloud.com. That's sound, soundcloud.com. Now, there is a free account and there's a paid account. You can check that out, but you can definitely host some audio right now on there for free. This is your YouTube for your sound files. That's the easiest way to put that. It's where you host your sound files because they're quite large. You don't want to be doing that on your own web servers or your WordPress. You want to do it on SoundCloud. Uploading this on SoundCloud is pretty much exactly like on YouTube. You have an upload button. I uploaded mine from last night or from the previous module that we created together. Here it is. Internal wounds are like external wounds. Now you noticed I created some cover art last night for this after we did our training. This is just a perfect square that I created, and as you can tell, I did not do it in Canva. I was tired of using Canva and I was starting to scramble a little bit after the training. So where did I go? I went into Photoshop. That's what I do. So I just created this. I whipped this up in Photoshop. But if you go to Canva and type in square, they will show you a bunch of square designs. You want a perfect square for the episode of your podcast. And if I play this from here, here's the podcast episode. It was hell. It was sheer hell. So that's what we need to do. We need to get it up on here. You want to do cover art. You want to take the time to do this because this will eventually, you'll have this plugging into, like I said earlier, you'll have this plugging into your blog, of course, but you'll also have it plugging into iTunes with time. You'll have it plugged into Spotify. You want to be on Spotify. You'll have it plugged into Google Play. You'll have it plugged into Stitcher. You'll have it plugged into any podcast website or podcast platform by simply sharing something called your RSS feed. That's out of the scope of this training, but you have an RSS feed, which is a line of code that you simply give to iTunes, you give to Spotify, you give to all the platforms, and they extract all of your data automatically. So I put this up, 3 hours ago? Let me see. 7 views. So I just put it up like before we did this. 3 hours ago I put it up, and I don't even know. Maybe it's already on iTunes. Let's go check. Go up here. Let's go see if it actually made its way to iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff yet. Haha, it did. There we go. See, it's already here. So 12 minutes ago, or it lasts 12 minutes. See, it's already there. I didn't do anything. It extracted everything. So the cover art will show up on some platforms, some devices, so on and so forth. Wow, I think that was important to be said, okay? We're not implementing any of this tonight or in this course, but we're going to grab it from your SoundCloud to your blog, okay? Okay, we are moving forward amazingly. One thing I want to note is you want to do the same thing in your description on SoundCloud. You want to simply put the title of your blog post, and you want to simply put the description here without a call to action, okay? And that's it. Now, what is next? You know what's next? We have to create your menu now. So what we're going to do next is we're jumping right into it. We got to move. We got to move. We got to move. We have our SoundCloud. We have our YouTube established, our SoundCloud established. So now we have to go, before we create our blog post, we have to create our menu, our whole website structure, and we want to create our highlights on your homepage, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Fixing Self website open, okay? So we want to make it look like this, but with the Fixing Self site, and we're doing it from scratch. So let's modify this menu first. First thing we want to do is we want to log into our Wix back office. And here I am. I'm in the Fixing Self back office. We created this completely from scratch in a previous module. Then we want to go to Site Actions here. We want to click that, and we want to click on Edit Site. We'll let that load up. And as it's loading up, now you see why I said you'll need to come back to this module, right? You'll need to consult this module quite often. So on any page in the editor on your Wix, if you click the menu itself, it'll give you options that will pop up right here. So what you want to do is you want to click Manage Menu. And then this is where you add your sections, which will create each their own pages. Now these are pages, they're not blog posts. So you see it says Home, About, My Blog, and Contact. If we go to the actual website itself, Home, About, My Blog, Contact. So we want to modify this right now. Let's get her done. I'm going to go back. I will go Add Page. We want a menu option called Shows. So I'm just typing in the word Shows. Done. We want to add another page and another menu option called Webinars. Same thing. We'll do the same thing with another menu option. We'll call this one Interviews. Done. Okay, perfect. See how they're being added to the menu right here? We're going to add another one called Testimonials. We are good. We're going to add another one, which would be your passions, okay? Your passions. So in a previous module, I talked about calling this life hacks for myself, and I explained why. I won't repeat it here, but this is where you list your categories of passions. For me on the Wealthy Trainer, it's health and it's wealth, but I call them life hacks. And there's a random section. In this case, I'm going to call them self hacks because it's congruent with this brand. And I like that. It sounds great. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you remember, we had 8 when we sketched this out, is because what I do on my Wealthy Trainer, I just include my contact with my about in the same page. However, in this case, we'll just leave them both separately. Now the order will be home, of course, as your first menu option, then always get your blog up second. And all I'm doing is I'm dragging that up. That's all I'm doing. I'm clicking and I'm dragging. The next one will be my self hacks. The next one will be my shows, then my webinars, then my interviews, then my testimonials, then my about, then my contact. This is the order you want. That's pretty quick, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, I'll click save, and then I will click publish. I don't need to see that every time. Publish now. Okay, published. So let's go take a look how that looks. That's how fast we got our menu up. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? There you go. If the menu's too long, you can get it to span across the page so that it's, because right now it's relative to the sides. It's not responsive, so it's not 100% across. We can get into all kinds of settings, but right now I think we should just build out the menu, because there is a lot of, I'm looking at the word fixing and I'm thinking there are a lot of fixins. There are a lot of bells and whistles and adjustments. Like, first of all, I want to add a color to this. I want this to be, I think the color code 336699 would look good. It's kind of like a corporate ocean blue. It's a nice, comforting blue. It's a blue they use in rehab a lot, actually. It's a calming blue. I could do that, but that's an example of the time it takes to add these little bells and whistles. I could move these social media icons here. Everything is pretty well drag and drop. So as the disclaimer, I think it's more important to get the content out tonight, because we have a lot of it. We have a lot of work to do. It's more important to get it out. Then you can play around and move things around and add your brand colors and change your layout maybe. It's all very easy. So it's easy. I mean, you can dig. Wix offers so many variations to this template that you can literally create it to look exactly the way you want it to look, down to the darn pixel. Okay? So I'm building it like I did the Wealthy Trainer, but I must save some of the crazy features or some of the customization. That's what I think I'm trying to say here. Okay? So right now, what we need as a functionality, is we need submenus. How do we create submenus to our menu? We got our menu done pretty quick. Would you agree? In the live? Pretty quick, right? Pretty easy. This is very hard to do in any kind of HTML. So what we do here is we add another page, another menu option. Now for me, for my self hacks, I had said meditation, self-love, higher intelligence, and random. Those of you who were following through in this course, you would probably recall. So I'm going to start in that order. Meditation. That's a category of content I will have here. Well, what I'll do is I'll switch it over right now. All you do to make it a subcategory, check this out. Select and just slide it over. Boom. Look at that. I'm going to publish it. We'll take a look at that. And that's how easy that is. No programming required. Published. Let's go reload. There you go. There it is. See, there it is. Changing the color, the background colors. Again, that would be a customization you would do later on. Okay? Because I don't know what you're thinking. That's all subjective. What are your brand colors? What do you want your colors to be? Like, what kind of shading do you want? Do you want these in bold? Those kinds of things I won't be teaching about. That's personal customization or personal brand customization. So there we go. That's how easy that was to add. That'll appear on every page, and we have to build these pages now. We have to populate them, so I got to move a little faster. Well, I got to move faster. This is a course. This is a course. So let's do this. Next one is, and it just added it there automatically because I was selected on this. If it was to add it at the bottom, you can move these around anywhere you want. As a matter of fact, I'll demonstrate that right now. Next one is self-love. Done. Add another one. See how easy this is once you get the hang of it? Next one is higher intelligence. Done. Add another one, and this is the important one, random. I'll just call it random for now. Random sounds good. I put random hacks. But in this case, no, random is good for now. I don't want to spend time thinking on this. I want to, this is the tactical portion. Let's get tactical. So watch what I do here. I'm going to add to the shows, but I'm just going to add it in a weird spot to show you how easy it is to move it. For the shows, I have Selfie Talkie. Now all I need to do if it's in the wrong place is I just need to drag it right here. And for yourself, you would want a second show that would be the Ask Blank Show. We talked about having your own Ask hashtag and your own Ask John Smith, for example. I have the Ask Lalone Show. So this is where you would store your shows. On my Wealthy Trainer, let's go take a gander. See my life hacks? I got wealth hacks, health hacks, random hacks. My shows, the Ask Alone Show, Sauna Talk, Transformation Challenge. Did I publish this? Let's go publish it, and I'll show you how we're looking here. This is all we need to do actually. We got the shows. I'm going to add a show. Because you want to have that show as well. You want to have your own Ask show. Having your own Ask show is super easy to create content. All you do is you ask people how you can help them in general. And when they ask you a question, you say, can I publish this on my show, please? Would you mind? And then you say, John Smith asks, and then you answer it. That's exactly how the leaders do it. That's exactly how everyone does it who has an Ask Blank show. So there we go. That's it. We're done. Let's do that. Let's publish. The menu is done. I feel like I'm in a rush, but it appears that this is pretty efficient. I don't think I missed anything here. No, it looks like we're right on track. Let's go do that. Let's go reload and see what we have. Yes, look at that. Meditation, self-love, higher intelligence, random. Perfect. Everything's built now. So we have the menu built. What do you say we populate this now so that we have the video section complete, okay? Well, how about that? Let's work from the top down, okay? We got this, we got this, we got this. Social media icons, all you do is you click them in the editor and you can add your URL to each of those. Let's see how we're doing on time. That's pretty self-explanatory. I think we should really go to the guts of what we need to do for this thing to function properly, okay? Then at the end, we can add some bells and whistles, maybe play with the colors. Fair enough? Okay? So now we have to go into the important stuff, which is your video listings. This is crucial. This is key. when people come to my blog or my brand resume, it's very rare that they go into the blog and start, well, it's not rare. They do that too. They go a little bit everywhere, but sometimes they just want to go on, oh, look, webinars. I'm going to click on that and beautiful. I want to learn how to, whatever, create my own custom quote. Perfect. I want to click on that. I want to either see the video directly here, because on a mobile device, it looks amazing. Perfect. Or they want to access the video immediately here without having to go and look into the blog. Some people like going in the blog, but this is what we're going to create right now in a matter of minutes, okay? And it's super important. It's your video storage space on your Wix. So what we want to do is we want to add our piece of content. We're going to use 2 of them, okay? Because I have 2 pieces of content that are congruent with fixing self. The first one will be the content from last night. Internal wounds are like external wounds. That will go on the Fixing Self site. And the second one I will use is fear feeds fear. I find this is also congruent for fixing self, eliminating your fears. Wow, we are moving fast, but I love it. We are on a roll right now. Let me take a breath, because I don't think I actually took a breath in a little while here. Okay, so now we're going to take care of the whole top portion of your blog. So what we want to do is, I'm going to take care of this now since we're here. In your YouTube descriptions, in general, no, all the time, what you want to have is, in your description, you want to have your blog title. Okay, you want to have that there. And you want to have a call to action. I'm going to read it off quick because you can rewind or you can pause. The call to action should be, you can check out my entire content library or ask me anything by using the blank hashtag that's yours in the search, or check out my blog, which is updated daily at, which would be your URL. I'm using the Wealthy Trainer, but you would use obviously your brand resume. Why do we put that in the first 2 lines? Because let's look at what that looks like on YouTube. Because when somebody comes to your video, they see that immediately under the video, and then they could either go to your brand resume immediately without expanding this description. It's right there. They don't need to expand that. And if they click your hashtag, watch. It will go to all of your videos on YouTube that have that hashtag, okay? There you go. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Now, here's what becomes very important. When I went to the YouTube video, internal wounds are like external wounds, the broken heart video, remember I said to start right at your description, because whatever you import from here goes into your video list on Wix. Well, what happens is once we've done that import, then we add these 2 lines, okay? Then we add those 2 lines. I'm going to leave that at that. I mean, that's the way Wix does it. They don't let you edit it, and you don't want these 2 lines in your description. You don't want them because you can't click a link in your video description. Well, I'm saying a lot here. I mean, there's a lot of information here. You may want to rewind this and really pay attention to the things I've been saying, because I said a lot of things in like 3 sentences there. When someone clicks on your video from the video section, for example here, none of this can be linked. So if you have a call to action here, it's a waste of space. Yes, I'm a perfectionist. And yes, this is 100% correct how I'm doing this. So I pay attention to all these little details. I don't know, what would you call me? I'm anal about details. I'm not sure how you would say it, but yes, all these little details count to me. So why have some links that cannot be clicked? So when I import the video and the description, which cannot be modified in Wix for this section, remember they can be modified on the blog post. When I do that and it's done, then I add these 2 lines back to my YouTube. Seems like a lot, but this is easy after a while. Once you do it once, you just do it over. You do your new piece of content, you apply what we taught in the previous module, and you just get it done. It takes 2 minutes. It literally took me 10 minutes to add my content from last night or the previous module. I just did it a couple of hours ago, and it took no time at all. I put it on my YouTube, I put it on my SoundCloud, and I put it as a new blog post on The Wealthy Trainer. It takes no time. It's just when you're learning it for the first time, I understand it could be overwhelming, which is why I'm glad this is a course. Okay, so we have these 2 videos that we are going to add to our menus. Now the question is, where do I want to add them? But before we do that, we need to import the videos themselves. So I'm going to import this one, The Broken Heart, and I'm going to import Fear Feeds Fear. So here's how we do this. First of all, I need to remove this because I don't want this to come in with my description. I'm cutting this, and then what I'm doing is I'm putting it into another file so I could paste it back. So I'm just going to open a notepad file. That's what I use. And I'm pasting that. So now I could bring it back. Now let's look at what that looks like. I'm going to save this. So now it's on YouTube. This is exactly how I want to bring it into Wix. This is exactly how I want to bring it into Wix. So what I do is I go into my Wix. And now what we're doing is we're bringing in videos, but you need to understand this part. You see these categories here? These video lists? Well, these are channels, okay? That's how we categorize our videos. We're about to do this. I just need you to understand. Each video falls into a category. So let me show you in the browser. Hopefully the visual representation will make more sense. If I have a video, it's got to fall into one of these categories. It's got to be a selfie talkie video, an Ask a Alone show video, maybe it's a meditation video, a self-love. Because when they click on this, let's go to self-love. There's nothing right now, but what do we want? We want a list of videos. So if I go to my Wealthy Trainer to show you what it looks like populated, if we go to Random Hacks or Wealth Hacks, doesn't matter, Wealth Hacks. Wealth Hacks has a category of, it's a category of videos. These are all wealth building videos. If we go under Health Hacks, these are different videos, okay? They fall into this category, the health category, and same thing with random. That would be the exact same thing in your categories. So we need to create channels for each of these categories. We need a meditation channel, we need a self-love channel, we need a higher intelligence channel, we need a random channel, then we need a webinars channel, we need an interviews channel. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? Do you guys understand how this works? Because then when we populate it here, instead of adding videos every time, we add them to the channels. We're going to build the channels right now. So then when you add it to your self-love channel, it automatically goes into your page. So this morning or today, when I added onto my random channel, my channel is called Random Hacks Channel, it automatically, bloop, it automatically popped up here. I hope that makes sense. I think I said it properly. Now, as we do it, at least I framed what we're about to do. Like I framed it. I tried to explain the theory about the tactics that are about to take place right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it this way. Okay, I'm back on my Wix editor. Now, if you look up in the top left-hand corner, you can change pages that you go onto, okay? So I can go to my meditation page. There it is. My self-love, my higher intelligence, my random, my shows, any of the pages. Now, they all look the same now because we haven't added anything onto them. What I want to do is I want to add a video channel, but first I have to create a video channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go to the page itself. I'm going to go to self-love because I want to create a self-love channel. And again, these are my examples for this brand, right? Like you understand that, I hope, at this point. This is the brand I created a couple of modules earlier, okay? For the purposes of this course, because I don't have a channel called Self-Love on my Wealthy Trainer brand. I have Health Hacks and Wealth Hacks. So let's go back and do it. We're going to go to the Self-Love page. Now I'm going to go within the page itself. Now what I want to do is I want to add an element here that's a video grid. So I want to go to the Add button. Now you're going to have a lot of fun with this. You cannot imagine what kind of options you have. Just take a look at all this stuff. You can add all of these elements. Look at that. Interactive, lists and grids. Look at all this stuff. You can literally customize this thing any way you want to. This is why I spent so much time on Wix. I've made this blog or this brand resume. I made it a certain way to look like a newspaper and like a YouTube channel. And I used usability design that's very familiar already to users on the internet, okay? So it looks kind of clean and plain, but you can make it as colorful and picture heavy as you like. My goal here was so everyone can get to the content itself and see me as quickly as possible. So you can play around. There's no rules that are set in stone here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to video because I'm creating a video list. Look at all the options you have. Now what's beautiful about these is that if you change the video layout, it still sucks out of the same channel. So that's amazing. So as you add to your channel and you want to change from grid to classic, you can do that. So I'm going to grab grid because that's what I have on my blog. And as you will see, it literally throws it in here. Now I created spacing on mine. See how I created spacing? So I just have 3 videos that go across, and I have a certain spacing that I put and a certain amount that I want showing up at once before they have to reload the page. All of these settings, I'll show you, are when you click on the element, you can click on settings, and this is where you can adjust anything you like. Now you can add videos, but we're grabbing from a channel, remember? So look at the layout, look at the player, look at the layout of the grid, of the classic. You can change it here as well. The options are endless. See the margins? I'm going to keep it as is for this example, but if you wanted it to look like mine, I did this because it looks exactly like a YouTube list. It's familiar. It's like having my own YouTube channel. That's all me without ads or anything. I could go on and on and on to why I chose that exact design, but in one word, it's what people are already used to. It's familiar to them. That's why I did this. So I'm going to go back. I'm not going to play around with this. I'm just going to create the channels. Oh my God, I can't believe how much we're going into detail in this course. This is crazy. So we'll go to videos up here, channel, and normally what would happen if you have multiple channels, it would pop them here. and then you would just select the channel you want to add to this page. So I'm going to create a new channel. So now we have a new channel, but we haven't brought any videos in from YouTube yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this channel to Self-Love, because that's the category I'm creating a channel for. I'll click Edit, and I'll name that Self-Love. That's my category, right? Yep, okay. Description, not necessary. This is not necessary because we're just extracting, in this case, for the channel to populate our grid. So I'm going to save that. Then to add videos, we cannot add them from YouTube directly here because it goes into our video library. What we need to do is we need to go into videos on the left. Save changes, of course. Then we want to add videos to our library. Whew, this is crazy. This is everything is here. I think I said everything thus far. But we're only getting started, everyone. This is like this feels like I'm doing a Wix masterclass in one night. It's insane. Okay. God, I wish I had this training before I jumped into Wix for the first time. Okay, let me take a breath. Okay, I need to say something because it's on my mind. We are plugging from YouTube. I'm going to say something because, like I said, it's on my mind. I would love to be completely independent from any social media platform whatsoever, and I would love to not be held hostage to any social media platform, which is why when I upload to YouTube, I save my videos on my computer as well, and I categorize them. So if someday, you never know, in this case, I want to have a plan B because I lost my Facebook. It took 4 months till I get it back. I lost my Twitter. That'll take about a month to get it back. Things happen. Sometimes it's not your fault. Things just happen. And there you have it. This is why I love the fact that we can upload our own videos on the Wix server with a paid plan. But I haven't done that yet. I've only connected to YouTube. But over time, maybe with my new videos, that's something I will do. So I'm not counting on any social media platform. I love social media. I go out there to get my leads. I go out on social media to bring people back to my blog, but then they end up in my pixels, in my custom audience, on my list. As a matter of fact, there's a live feature on Wix. I can't believe that. I will definitely do a training on that for everyone who took this course. Check your message. Well, you're on my list if you bought this course. So, especially the collaborators. I'm just saying right now, going live on your blog, wow, that's pretty huge. I'm just saying. Okay, I better keep going now. What we're doing today is we're grabbing from your YouTube. So we look at the bottom section right here. It says paste your video URL. So I'm going to go to my YouTube. First one is Broken Heart. I'm just going right here. I'm copying that link. I'm going back to my Wix editor. I'm pasting that in here. And there it is. It shows up immediately. Then I'm going to add the video right here. There it is. Now it's in my video library, but it's not in my channel because I haven't added it to my channel. What we want to do is we want to populate our video library. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another video. I could do it right from here. Add video. I'm going to go YouTube. Then I'm going to go grab the fear feeds fear. I always had trouble saying that. We used to call it Roscoe the dog. The fear feeds fear video URL, copy. I'll go back. I will paste that there. And what I'm going to do, because since we're here, I want to show you that you could add many videos at once in a jiffy. So I'm going to go in my YouTube channel. I'm going to go grab a couple more videos that I think would be very congruent with the whole fixing self theme. So let's go take a look at my YouTube channel, see what else I can grab. I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go to my channel in another tab. And click here. If I go in the random section, I'll probably get lucky because there's a lot of mindset and fix yourself stuff in my random section. It was. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to a random hacks and take a look at what I got. Let's close this guy. Okay, I have manifesting my vision on being a best-selling author into reality. That's kind of in the meditation category. It's a visualization. That'll work. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to go click. I'm going to share. Copy the URL. I'll go back. I'll paste it right here. Okay, check this out. See the way it adds it immediately? So we can add batches of them. Let's go pick some more. So we have something to work with and we could build out some channels real quick. Oh, use the music in your head to dominate. That is definitely meditation. Definitely. Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I will copy that, share. You guys get the idea? You'll get the hang of this. When you first do it, you'll probably be populating quite a few. But as you add content, you're just adding one video every time, right? You're adding it to the channel that that video would belong in because it's already on your YouTube channel at that point. Let's go pick a couple more. Okay, just going to scroll down a little bit. There's some good ones here, I'm sure. Oh, there's a good one. I can't let you do that because I love you too much. That is completely self-love. That's me telling myself that in this piece of content. I can't let you go out with your friends and go out partying because I love you too much. I can't let you eat that piece of pizza because I love you too much. So I'm going to grab that. It's perfect. Falls in perfectly. Grab that. I'll put that in. Did we grab a higher intelligence one? Let me go grab a higher intelligence one so we can kind of fill up the categories nicely. I'm going to go back. I will go to my random section. You can sculpt your dream self. Oh, that's a great one too. They're great. I just spoke with God. Perfect. It's kind of in your face. I'm going live, but that was pretty crazy that day. That day I had okay, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the blog. Copy. Go in there and there we go. Okay, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. We'll add them all at once. Boom. Now it appears that it added the videos. I'm just going to reload my browser. And there we go. They're all there. Okay, so now we want to add them to the channels. Let's go to channels. You see how I have the self-love channel? Well, I'm just going to add more channels. I'm going to add a second channel that is called Higher Intelligence. Save. That's all we need to do. I can add the video directly here. But what I want to do is I want to save this first. Not now. I want to go to channels so you see them both. Higher Intelligence, Self-Love, and all videos. All of your videos will fall into this channel by default. That's your default channel where videos automatically get uploaded. and then you add them from here to your other channels. So I'm going to add another channel. I'm going to go edit. Call this channel meditation. I'm going to save it. I'm not going to add any videos yet. I'm just going to save changes. No, not now. Go back to channels so we can see them all. It's kind of like creating channels on a YouTube channel. It's like kind of like creating, well, it's creating category channels. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding now. So let's go to self-love. I'll click on the channel. I'll say add video. It'll show me all my list of videos. And the video I want to add is this one. I can't let you do that because I love you too much. I added it to the channel. That's the only one I want in there. So I'm going to go save changes. Then I'm going to go back to channels. I'll go to meditation. I'm going to add some videos there. And the ones I want to add are definitely music in your head. And then I want to add how to manifest myself into a best-selling author. Let me see the other ones. Nope. 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 That's it. Okay, I'm going to save those changes. Now they're in that channel. So as I'm doing this, do you guys see how as you add one video at a time, once you've built your house, it's very easy to add to your house. We're building the whole house right now. It's crazy. So let's go back to channels, higher intelligence, which is God. Add videos, and I just have one there, spoke with God. Okay, save changes. Go back to channels. Now we have fear feeds fear, and we have the broken heart. For now, I'm going to put those in, would I put those in random? I could, or I could put them in self-love. I'm going to put them in random. Let's create the random category since we're here. Okay, new channel, edit. You guys are getting the pattern, right, of I'm doing this. And if I ever wanted to add a new category on my Wealthy Trainer blog, this is what I would do. I would add the category, I would add it to the menu, I would add a channel, okay? So I'm going to go random, save, just like we discussed. This is what we discussed for the Fixing Self brand. And right from here, I'm going to go ahead and add the video directly from here. I'm going to save changes first. It's going to ask me to add a video, yes. And I'm going to add two of them. I'm going to add the Fear Feeds Fear, and I'm going to add the internal wounds. And save changes. We're doing all the work that I did in the past 6 months to create my brand resume. Just a side note, we're doing it all in one night. It took me 6 months to figure all this out, by the way. Isn't this crazy? So here we are. We're doing it all in one night. So if I'm talking fast, if I'm moving fast, keep that in mind. It's worth going back and pausing, and at least the instructions are exactly there. It doesn't get more step by step than this. So now we got this. Let's close this up. Let's publish. And now what it's doing is throwing out all videos on my self-love page. I do not want that. I want the self-love channel. So here I would go settings. And there you go. You see how all your channels pop up? We just built these literally just now. So we want self-love, pick self-love, close this, and only the self-love will show up, okay? I'm going to publish that. So as you add to your self-love channel, they'll automatically pop up with the descriptions, okay, from your YouTube. Now, I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to another page, add another channel. I'm going to go to the, which one has multiple? Meditation has a couple. I'll go to meditation. That's two of them in that channel. So once I'm here, I'm going to add a different grid just to show you guys. It's the same process. I'm going to go add video. And then from here, I'm going to add, which one do we want? It doesn't, there's so many. It's so beautiful. Let's go with the classic. Or as I like to say, classique. Here's the classique. And guess what? We are in fact on the meditation page. I'm going to go settings. This is exciting. This is exciting. I don't know who's going to go through with this, but I promise you one thing. If you're on this course right now and you follow me on this brand resume journey and you put in the initial work, you're going to be sitting at the top of that mountain with me. It's going to be grand. Okay, I'm done. That was my little, I couldn't hold it in. I'm getting so pumped up for you guys. I mean, I'm already on my way there. I am. I don't want to, they say it's not lonely at the top, but I want to bring some people with me that I know that are taking my course. Okay, here we go. Let's go to, where are we going? We're going to meditation. I'm having too much fun here. And check this out. Boom, boom. Oh, look at that. See, some of you will prefer this. It shows the latest video at the top, and then you could scan through the bottom ones. Let's publish that, and let's go see what we just created tonight. Let's go look at what we created tonight. I'm going to reload. Okay, so there we go. Self-hacks. Let's go to meditation. Boom. How does that look, folks? Huh? Here we go. How does that look, huh? Now if we go to the self-love, how does that look? You can modify anything you want. There you go. And there you go. We did that tonight. Now here's what I meant by the calls to action. Remember I said on YouTube we deleted this part? Because this is a waste of space. They can't even click it. It would make more sense to start right at the content. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? If you've been listening tonight, you may have missed it. I was going really fast. So we now know how to do this. We know how to create your menu. We know how to create the video listings. Guess what we're doing now, folks? Are we all clear so far? We may be clear, and it's okay if you're freaking out, if you're lost, if you're confused. Just think of your first calculus class in university, or even worse, your first algebra class in school, or your first math class, period. Think about that. I remember when, I like math because I'm just weird that way, but English writing class in university was I couldn't grasp it. So it took me a while to kind of grasp it, and I never did. I never liked English writing, business writing, because I never caught it. I never caught on. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people in a math class, they'll be like overwhelmed, but then the more they do their homework and study and go to class, it kind of clicks, and they're like, okay, it's not that hard. Then people who start taking that class, they're like super lost, and you're fine. Okay? I don't even know why I went down that road, just because we're covering a lot really fast. But remember, this is a course. This is a course, of course. Now we will go to the strip. You guys ready to make the... Well, these strips, let me tell you right now what these are. These are very simple, and they're very similar to the home strip. They are the home strip. They're the same thing. So what we're going to do is, this is a slider menu, a click menu with many options. I think I have 8 videos. These are your highlights. This is what we're attacking next. Are you guys still awake? Let me give you all a clap, okay, to wake you up. Are you awake? This is going to get more, well, it's going to get more fun. Then we're doing this, and then guess what we're doing after that? We're doing your blog posts. Yes, this is what you would call a master class, and I'm talking about just tonight on its own. So here we go. We're going to do this now. You guys ready? The top is all figured out and taken care of. Oh, I just noticed a stone that was not unturned. I got to turn it, okay? 2 seconds. the power of what 2 sentences can do. I want to clarify one thing so you guys don't bust your heads about it. Let's go here. It just caught my mind. It's just perfect. I'm going to spit it out. And if we go to your listing, let's go to meditation. Nope. Let's go to self-love. If we go here and click on the description, remember when I said we cannot edit this? Well, it's in there because it sucked it from our YouTube channel. Remember when I said this is why we strip it? And then once we upload it here or we add it to our video listing, this will not affect our blog post, but it will affect our video list. We can't take this out now. Wix won't let us do that. I don't like it. I contacted them about it. But once you upload it, once you do what we did, you can't modify this. So what are you to do? You're to do what we did earlier. Let's go back to our videos. Remember when I said we started the content? We started the content, and then once we're done with the import, or once we're done bringing it into our Wix video listing, what do? We had copied it. Remember right here? I'm going to copy that back. Now we can put it back. I'm going to put it back. I'm going to paste it. Enter. And there we go. I'm going to save that. Now it's okay. It's not connected to our Wix. Okay? It's not connected to it. So if we update it after we added the YouTube link, we're okay. So now I got to put it back. Seems like a lot of work, but hey, I get it done. And now here you want to, of course, modify the title. And there we go. Now, if you didn't do it and you brought your video in and you want to make an edit. So for example, if I wanted to go back here and do an edit in this text, well, guess what? It's not that hard to do. All you need to do is remove this from your channel. Let me go real quick. You will go in your Wix. You would remove it from your channel. I'm going to show you. It'll take 2 seconds. So now there's really no stone unturned. You will go to your channel and you will go manage videos. And then from here, you would just go like this and go select, delete, and then change it on your YouTube. Take this off on your YouTube again. I'm just cutting it. Save it, then go and re-add it to your Wix. Add video, YouTube, add it again, and then it'll grab whatever's here. And then once it's back in your Wix and it looks good right here, it looks good to your satisfaction on the new upload or the new transfer, well then you would go and put it back on your YouTube. Whew. Now, little caveat, little disclaimer. If you are uploading your videos to Wix directly and not using the YouTube connector, so if you're uploading the full videos, which quite frankly is the best decision, I think I'm going to get someone to swap them all one by one. It just takes an extremely long amount of time to upload it. But if you have unlimited Wix video hosting, which is the premium, that would be the wise thing to do. Why didn't I do it? Because, again, it would take too long. I need someone doing this full time just to catch up on my 400 pieces of content, because I've got webinars that are 4 hours long. Done. Done. No stone unturned. Hashtag no stone unturned. Now we can go create this guy, okay? Let's go create that strip. Who's ready? First thing we need is we need to identify what our highlights are. And we will go here. And I will tell you what I've decided for fixing self. I went very, 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 very bold, okay? Very bold. Okay, so I have 3 pictures and I have one video so I can demonstrate them all. Okay, here are my highlights, which are by far the 4 greatest accomplishments of my life. And I do have health and wealth in there, but kind of like framed differently because the topic or the brand in this case, for the purposes of this course, are fixing self. And I thought, since I'm doing this for the course and I will not publicly release this brand as a standalone brand, I'm going to be like super bold. So my highlights are, let's take a look. I'm an ex everything almost. This would be the image for ex addict. This would be the image for ex alcoholic. I told you it was bold, right? This would be the image for ex homeless. And this last one is a video, and it's a video of me. It's ex overweight. Look at that. 276 pounds. I'm leaner now, but this is what I've been able to do in 2 months. Stop talking, Mark. Just show it. Here's the video. Nobody likes to do shirtless videos in general. And there you go. So that's my video. So for you, what I recommend you do is go grab some images or grab some videos that need to be at least 10 seconds long. Okay? So it's a little different from the Wealthy Trainer, isn't it? I thought, hey, I'm doing this example in the course. Let's just go really bold on this. And here we are. Now, let's do it. Let's go to the Wix editor and let's go to the home page. Let's go back here. We could close this out. Now we want to go up here to page in the top left. We want to select home page. And we want to drag the whole thing down, because you can drag and drop pretty much everything here, but we need to move the whole page down. So what we want to do is we want to look for an arrow here. See this? When it says drag, this will drag the whole page down. If you go on top of the image, it just moves that container. So if I drag this, check it out. It's dragging everything down. I'm going to scroll down to show you. See? It brings this, it brings this, it brings everything. If you were to just drag the container, see that little plus sign? If you were to just drag with the container, not the arrow, not the drag, it would just move the container and it would go on top of all your stuff below here. Okay? Super important. A lot of you will find out the hard way. Because a lot of people try to drag quick and move things around. You know those people who click a bunch of things before the page actually loads? I used to be one of them. I still am at times. So I'm going to drag it to give it enough room. And then I could always drag it back up. Okay. Depending on how big I make my strip. So I gave it a lot of room. I always publish it as I go. And what we're going to do is we're going to add, just like we did before. With the grids, I'm going to add. Then right here, it's interactive we want to select. We don't select it. We hover over. Then we can go take a look here. Okay, guys? And there are all your options. They have different fonts, but essentially they all pretty well do the same thing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to take the plain one right here. About. See? That's good. That's what I used, I believe. So now I need to drag this up top because it threw it down at the bottom. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to not use the slider. I'm going to drag it. So you see how it drags it over over the website? Now we're using the plus sign to bring it to where we want to bring it. Pretty awesome. It's very awesome. And then after this, guess what we're doing? We're actually doing the blog posts. How long have we been on? But it's okay. It's a course. I'm okay with this. Well, I'm very okay with this. This will help so many people. that are rolling this thing out. There we go. I'm going to put it up there right under the menu. Then I'm going to, when I click stretch, what I want to do is I want to shrink it. Shrink it a little more. I don't need it that big. And then we could always test it afterwards. Now before I bring this whole page back up, I'm going to see how it looks as this size, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to click this. Then the way we replace these images, we go from slide to slide with these little arrows up here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to change the slide background. I'm going to go and go image. Then I'm going to go upload my media, the ones I just showed you. Right here, I've got it right here. Fixing self, ex-addict. It's going to upload it to my Wix images. Change background, and there you go. Oh, that's pretty crazy. I'm going to go ex-addict. Yeah, it's pretty bold. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Now I can apply a filter to this because the white doesn't really show. Will I add a subheading? I can, but in this case, let me think. Do I want to? I can add something. I'm going to think about it as a, no, I don't need to. I'm going to delete that. Then I'm going to go to the next slide. Pretty quick, eh? Same thing. Change slide background. I'm going to go to another image. Same thing. I'm swallowing a lot as I'm doing this because it's kind of like, it's really bold. Okay, there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that down, obviously. And I'm going to delete this too. Then I'm going to add a kind of a pattern to it. You'll see what I mean. Then the third one, I'm going to add 4, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to the video now so you see what that looks like. It's pretty simple. Video. Upload media. Go grab that video. Overweight mark. Yeah, that would probably get my attention if I saw someone, if I saw this brand before I had fixed myself in all these areas, I'd be like, okay, I'm broke, I'm overweight, I'm a drunk, and I'm an addict. Perfect. It was tailored for me. Okay, I think that's good. Upload complete, change background. There we go. So here we could play it from here to see how it looks, and that looks just fine to me. And I'm going to do the same thing. Pretty simple, eh, guys? That actually looks pretty neat. Yeah, that looks really cool. It looks really cool. Really cool. Okay, we want to add another one. So what do you want to do? What do you do if you want to add more slides? First, I'm going to publish this, and I want to take a look at how that looks. I think that'll look really cool. Well, I know it will. But now we want to take care of the white and all that fun stuff. Make it more clear, more crisp. Here we are. Let's see how that looks. Fixing self. Fix yourself. Oh, wow. That's so awesome. I don't even have to add a filter to it. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Oh, yes. Oh, geez. That's beautiful. Isn't that's... I'm loving this. Let's add the other one since we're already in. Since we're in it to win it. Yeah, these are pretty crazy areas to fix. I think a lot of people are broken in those areas. As a matter of fact, I know they are. So I'm going to go. I'm just kind of talking, mumbling to myself. We want to manage slides. Slide 1, 2, 3. We want to add a new slide. And that's it, folks. Go here. You can actually you just add it. And once you've added it, then you come back out and you go to the slide. You see how it says slide 4 of 4? 2, 3, 4. And it just duplicated the other one, it appears. So this will be interesting. I'm going to go here. I'm going to change the background. I'm going to go select the last image, which is, let's go upload media, which is, oh, the homeless one. Of course, that's important. Ex-homeless. I think I'm into this because this is all true. Like I look at this, every picture I see here, I'm like, oh my God, that was like actually, all of those were me. To the extreme of each. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, look how good that looks. So now, check this out. Because the text for some reason got deleted or didn't add it, here's what we can do. We go back. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to copy that. Look at this. Right from Wix. And then if I go to the next slide and I go paste, it'll put it right in the exact right spot. Oh no, it won't. It's okay. We center it. I want to center it like this. And center it like this. I want to do that to all of them actually. Center it like this and center it like this. Center it like this. Center it like this. See the grid, eh guys? This would be fun to do in WordPress, wouldn't it? I'm just joking. I don't even know. I don't even want to start thinking about that. Here we go. God, part of me wants to release this now because I have so much to say on these topics. I am rich. I am healthy. I am clean as far as drugs and alcohol go. That's crazy. I'm kind of being proud of myself internally right now. I never really think about it too much because I'm moving forward, you know? I don't think back too much. Let's go see how that looks now. I bet you it'll look phenom. So reload, text is centered. Wow, I love it like this, guys. I love it like this. But I'll just show you. You can add filters just really quickly. I will go in just to show you. If you go to settings right here, this is where you can say how long between slides, how you want your slides to fly in from the top. You can keep going. You can have from left, from right, how long do the slides last. Vertical, you know, you can play around with that. We can go on and on and on, but there you have it. We just did that right now. You can add all kinds of features by going into the settings, okay guys? And there you have it. That's as far as we need to go for that. I think, well, we just created that. Like, I'm gonna go look at it again because it's beautiful. This is beautiful. It's so clean. It actually looks like a publication that you would, it looks like a publication. It looks like a publication. Now we have to create the blog posts. Whoa, it's okay. The final thing we are doing this evening is, let's go to the Wealthy Trainer and take a look. I can't believe we did that in one night. Now we need to create the blog posts. And this, I would say, is the easy part, but we're just continuing. And once we do this, all you need to do is add your story. I guided you to the story is your money, and we're going to wrap it up after this. But this is also super important. We are creating this entire thing from scratch. Who's ready? Let's go. But it won't be that hard. We set up all the foundation. Now we just build it out. So we will begin with this one. Internal wounds are like external wounds. So let's do that now. Let's go back to our editor. And on the side here, there's a menu option that says My Blog. Let's click on that. Let's click on Manage Posts. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to create our categories. Now, our blog post is extremely specific. The way we build it is the best blog post on the planet. It's got everything in it. So before I build the blog posts out from scratch, I will create the categories. You'll see how these fit in just a second. Click categories. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create new categories around my menu. So every section is a category. So every channel is a category. Meditation, self-love, higher intelligence, random. Every show is a category. Selfie, talkie, ask alone show. Now something to note is that shows is also a category. So shows would be a category for blog posts. This is where the searches are extremely powerful once you have hundreds of pieces of content on your blog and people continuously come to your blog daily to see what the updates are. Or even better, in the next module, when we nurture your audience and turn them into true fans, if they keep coming back, we want this to be extremely searchable. They may want to just go to your shows, and if they click shows in the blog posts, if you have a selfie talking, well then you're applying the shows category and the selfie talkie category. Because some people may want to see what are all of your shows, and some people may only be interested in the Ask Alone show. If someone selects all of your shows, they'll get everything here. If they select all of your self hacks, they'll get everything here. But if they just select self-love, they'll get just self-love. This is why on a self-love post, we apply this category and this category. Wow, I said that fast. So why don't we do that? Let's get it done. Go back to the editor. Categories. So self-love. Good. Save. That's all we need to do. Then I will go create another category. And as I'm doing this, I'll go show you how it looks. Meditation. Another one. Let me do a couple more. A new category. I'm going to go higher intelligence. Higher intelligence, save. Go one more, and I will call it random. And then I will create the category, which is self-hacks. So now I'm going to publish this just to show you the categories. Oh, I didn't even put the caps here. Why didn't you guys yell at me? Let me see. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my blog. Aha. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We're going to keep my top 5. Okay, so I didn't put the caps. Was I just typing them with lowercase? Wasn't paying attention, I guess. It's becoming a long night, right? So let's go back to the editor. I'm going to go back to my blog. And we saved the best for last tonight. So I will go to Manage Posts. I'll go back to Categories. I'm going to delete this. We don't need this. I'm going to, yeah, see, I didn't put in the caps. There we go. Some more like it. As a matter of fact, I'm going too fast. Let's Let's go here. Let's do it. Focus, Mark. Focus. Self-love. Copy and paste in the category title. Copy and paste. Save. Perfect. Edit. That's good. We're going to put the capital here. Or just copy and paste. Work smart, Mark. Work smart. Not only hard, work smart. Good. And I believe this one's okay. Yeah, we're good. So now, that's perfect for now. We'll just put those for now. And we will publish that. And we will go take a look at that. Let's bring that over here. Much better. Let's reload that. And how we doing? There we go. There we go. So I'm going to delete these blog posts, obviously, and add our own. Ooh, this is getting intense. So now here we go. You ready for the hard work? We're just starting today in this module. I'm just kidding. This part will be pretty fast, pretty easy, because we have everything ready. So when we create a blog post, we're taking the information from our YouTube channel and from our SoundCloud, okay? So what I like to do usually is I like to drag the information in a file, just like this. So it's ready to go. Because what you'll need is your YouTube link, which is right here. Copy. You need that YouTube link. Paste. And in SoundCloud, you will need to go to edit. I'm gonna go fast. I'm gonna go at a regular speed. It's just, I know some of you will probably have to pause this. You go edit. No, you go share. When you go share, you go embed. When you go embed, then you copy all of this code. I like to bring it here. I pasted it right there. Okay, there it is. There it is. This is my description in my YouTube. Okay, that's my description that we did in the previous module the other night. And we have the title. And we also have an image. I took an image from Google, which is non-text image. I talked about this earlier today. I'll just show you what it looks like on the Wealthy Trainer blog, because we are literally going to replicate this blog post, okay? We're going to replicate this blog post exactly the way it is, except without the story, because you need to create your story. And what I've done, we talked about the story so much in this course, there's not much more I can tell you except to go to brandinguniversity.com and go to the Your Story is Your Money course. This will link to your About page. Let me just leave, because if you're skipping to this module and you didn't go through all the days in this course, if you go to my About page on The Wealthy Trainer, you click on Branding University, you register for free. That's one of my companies. You can go to Your Story is Your Money. That course explains exactly how to write your story in detail, and it's all in there. The structure, the 2,000-word story, the story summary, so on and so forth. I did mention this earlier, I believe, in module number 2 in this course, when we talk about your story a whole lot. We talk about it all the time throughout this course, actually. So now we can go back to the blog posts, because we will not be going into that much detail at the bottom, okay? At the bottom of, right here, this post. Okay, you just want to put a nice image of yourself and your micro story under each blog post with a link that goes to your About page. Okay, so this should be taken care of. Now we need to take care of the top part. So let's do that. Let's create a brand new blog post. You will do this for every single piece of content. Let's go to my blog. Let's go to manage posts. Then we have blog posts that are kind of ready for us. They're already templates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one. I'm going to click edit. Oh, it took mine. I already started on this one. There we go. What I want to do now is I want to use keywords for this. So I want this to pick up in CEO as much as I can. So I'm going to copy this right over the image again. But I'm going to go in Notepad, or you could go on YouTube as well. Copy your title from here. And let's build our first blog post, okay? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to paste that. I'm just using Control-C, Control-V on my keyboard. It's faster. I'm going to take away the emoji here. I'm going to go to the image, and I'm going to simply swap the image that's already there. So I'm going to swap that with an image I found on Google. I'm going to go upload the image I found. So I need to go in my directory structure. This is just the way I organize things on my computer. We've got it right here. We've got it right here. Internal wounds. Okay. This is everything we've created so far. This is the image I just took from Google Images this morning. Okay, I'm going to add that to page. There we go. Then below here, I'm going to add the actual description, the content itself. So I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to simply copy the description. So you see how YouTube is really the source of everything, right? For the blog post. And copy that. I'm going to bring it to my blog post. And I will paste that in. You can play with the formatting if you like, but I like to keep it simple here. Enter my line breaks. Here we go, Mr. Perfection coming in. This is a gorgeous blog post. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. Next, we want to enter the video. So when I enter here, if I click line break, I'll do twice, there's a plus sign. So what I want to do is I want to insert a video. So just select add a video right here, and then here is where you add the YouTube link. So I'm going to go to YouTube itself, and I'm going to copy that link right here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to go add. Ta-da! There it is. Now above the video, I like to put the title again, just like it would be on the YouTube video. So I'm going to go grab that title again. I'm copying that, bringing it over. I'm pasting. I want to make that bigger. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go text size. Click it, and the more you click it, it goes big and small like that. So I want it big. The biggest, I'm going to go bold. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then I'm going to go under the video, and I will put an external link that goes to my YouTube. So what I like to do is I like to put a little video emoji here, and I do that by going to emojipedia.org. That's emoji, EMOJIPEDIA.org. and I go there for all of my emoji needs. I would go video, search for my emoji I want. I like the video camera, the movie camera that looks like this. I will copy, and that does send people to my YouTube channel so they could subscribe or whatever else. Mostly subscribe and fall into my YouTube rabbit hole as well. That's the only external link I really put here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to YouTube, copy this, go back to Wix, paste that. I'm going to take away this emoji here. Then I'm going to go grab my YouTube link again. I'll copy that. Then I'll go back to my Wix. I'm going to make that bold. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to paste it. And I want to make sure it opens in a new tab. I'll go save. So that will go to the actual video. This will play the video from the blog post. And now what I want to do is I simply, let me see. I'm anal about this. You guys know that. And take away that spacing there. I want to keep that spacing there. I want to take away this spacing there. That's perfect. So now I don't need any of this below. I'm going to delete all of that stuff below. And that's where your story would go. Let me show you. But first, guess what we're doing? We're adding your podcast episode. So now, let's just do it directly from SoundCloud. I'm going to go into SoundCloud, copy this right from here under the embed, under the share, okay? Let me do that again. You go to the sound file, you go into it on your SoundCloud, you click share, you click embed, you select all of this, you go copy, you go to your Wix blog post. Then here, when you click the plus sign, you click the HTML code icon. That'll open a whole new window with HTML code. You paste it here, and you select down, you go save, and there you have it. So what we're going to do is, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So right now, what you want to ideally do is add your story just like this at the bottom, okay guys? Just add your micro story. Now you won't have to do this every time because I'll show you. We'll do a second blog post and you'll see how it works with a save as when you duplicate the blog post. So once we've done this, I'm going to get rid of this. Yep, that's actually perfect. That's exactly how I want it. Now remember, you do want your story on every single blog post. So now we want to go to settings. We want display cover image, of course. I want to set it as a featured post. There's the date. You want to go into SEO. You want to name the URL post accordingly. So in this case, it would be internal wounds are like external wounds. That's good. And then you cannot forget this. Categories. My top 5, sure, I'll keep it in there for now. It's my only blog post. I will go self-love. And I will go self-hacks. Because it's a self-hack. Because self-love is within self-hacks. I will publish that. Let's go take a look at that. Good. I go to my blog post. Or my actual blog itself. Right here. May reload. Under my blog. Ta-da! How beautiful is that? We can delete these now because this is our new template. It's the perfect blog post. But before you start duplicating this, what you want to do is you want to add your story to the bottom. Now, if I go to my top 5, there it is. We're going to delete all of these right now, actually. If you go to self-love category, There it is. It's the one with self-love, okay? It's the only one. If we whatever we apply that category to on our blog post will fall into those results, okay? Now remember, the videos are different. Now we just did the blog post. Was that clear on how to do that? And isn't it cool how once we get everything together before, once we build the foundation, see, we'll click on the blog post. Look how beautiful this is. We just did this just now. Podcast plays. This goes to your external YouTube link. It was hell. Beautiful. You can play it right from your blog post. It was hell. Beautiful. There's your description. There's your image. And if we go to the home page, because we put it as a featured post, guess what? There it is. Oh, we never took out that space. Let's go do that now. Let's go back to the main page. Now we want to go to home. Let's go back to the home page. Scroll down, and here we go. Now here's important. We need to do the arrow again because we want to drag the whole website up, not just the container. Right up to this section. How awesome is this, guys? Publish. Let's go take a look. Let's reload. Well, we have ourselves a brand and we're ready to populate it. So that's really what you want to do with your blog posts. Now I'm going to do a duplicate blog post just to show you how easy it is. Let's go back to the Wix editor. Let's go back to blog, manage posts. I'm going to delete all of these because they're no good to me or us. Once you have one blog post nailed, you don't need the rest. Well, you just use that one over and over again. I created one exactly like I just did this one. And I used it for all 444 pieces of content. I'll show you how easy it is to duplicate that right now. Almost done. Wow, we're really cleaning up this site. This is actually becoming a real brand. This is actually a real brand. We created this. Isn't that amazing? So all we do here, guys, is duplicate posts, and it opens it up right away for you. Let's do the fear feed sphere real quick and copy that because it is quick. I'm going to do it fast to demonstrate how fast it is once you have it figured out. I like to go between the first and last character to keep that formatting. Then I delete the last character, delete the first character, then I go to town. See how it keeps the formatting? There's nothing to worry about anymore. I take this image, I will switch this image. I do have one for Fear Feed Sphere that also I got from Google. Upload from computer. I'm going to go back, Fear Feed Sphere. Here we go, I got the crazy clown. His name is Pennywise, by the way. Add to page. Oops, no. We don't want that. Okay, good. Add to page. Okay, now I will go to my YouTube, and you guys get the pattern, right? Roscoe the dog here. Whoops, I punched the wrong key. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Okay, now I will go back to my YouTube video of Roscoe. I will take this, copy again. So now you see how easy it is to, once you have one done, right? And for some reason it took away the bold, but that's no problem. There we go. I'm going to paste this here. We have to change the link as well, okay? Well, it takes away the link. We'll get rid of that emoji. See how easy that was, right? Watch this. Now I'm going to copy the YouTube URL. Go back here. I'm going to select the text, bold, link. See, it's like robotic after a while. Boom, done. I'm going to go here. I'm going to change that link. I'm going to swap the video, paste that YouTube URL. Boom, Fear Feeds Fear. Done, done, done. Look how fast that was. We're not done, almost done. Look at this. For the SoundCloud, check this out. I'm going to go to my SoundCloud account. I'm going to go to that audio. It's all the same process. Where's my Fear Feeds Fear? It's here somewhere. Here it is. Share. Embed. I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to go back to my Wix site. I'm going to select this. I'm going to click Edit HTML. I'm going to select everything here, delete it, and paste what I had. Boom, save. And now remember, we have to go to settings. Good, 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 good. Set as featured post. Sure, why not? Fear Feeds Fear. It picked up on the title. Categories. Now top 5. What do we want for this one? Do we want whatever you put it in? It's not self-love, this one. Was it self-love? Or did we choose meditation? I think we're going to go with random for this one and self-hacks just to show you. Because we got rid of all the garbage blogs. We're going to publish that now. Now let's go take a look at this sucker. Now we have a blog that can actually be released. Like no joke. There we go. That's the latest blog post. There are the 2 blog posts we have. See what I mean when the image is cut off, which is why we don't put text, because the text would truncate. And we go to our blog. Wow, this is awesome. Welcome to your new brand resume. We said random, click on random, there it is. If we click on self-love, there it is. And if we click on self-hacks, they should both be there. Okay, guys? Now you have a lot to digest this evening. It's okay. Come back and take it seriously. We built everything tonight. I know it was a couple of hours, but right now, sleep on it. And tomorrow, here's what we do in the final module. We promote your brand resume. We start building your audience, and we start nurturing them so that they see every new blog post that you put out there. I'm thinking to myself right now, did I leave any stone unturned? We delivered so much more than we expected to in this module. I don't think there's anything I know right now that you don't. You are actually at the same level technically as I am when it comes to brand resume. That's absolutely insane. So there we have it. Great, great, great evening. Great module. I can't wait to rewatch it. I'll be rewatching it to learn from myself. Okay, guys, thanks for sticking around. It's been a long one. It's been exhausting, I'm sure, but start digging in, and I will see you guys for the final evening, which is night number 5 for those of you that are live. And for those of you that are in the course, I will see you in the final module where we build your audience, where we nurture your audience. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye now.
Okay, man, I know that this is a long course, session 9. However, what value, huh? Did you learn anything? I sure hope so. I know I did. Those few little posts I put in there, that was me. I'd like to thank you for joining us in Module 9 of Brand Resume, where you're branding you. I am Timothy Kynes, Marketing Director and CEO of Brookstar Property Group, LLC. I'd like to thank you for joining us. God bless.